How to overcome awkwardness and build confidence to attract women. Welcome to today's video. If you've ever felt the sting of awkwardness in social situations, especially when you're talking to a woman you like, you're not alone. Many young men, especially those who are still learning the ropes of dating and social dynamics, experience these moments of discomfort. The question is, how can you go from feeling like a nervous wreck to having women actually obsess over you? Is it possible to transform your interactions, build confidence, and learn the subtle cues that make you more attractive? This video is going to take you through the step-by-step process of overcoming awkwardness and building attraction in a way that makes women genuinely interested in you. We'll go over actionable tips, psychological principles, and the mindset shifts that will take you from the guy who avoids eye contact to the guy who can command a room with ease. But, and I cannot emphasize this enough, the most important tip, the one secret that can change everything, will come at the end. So stick with me, because it will be well worth it. Let me start by telling you a little bit about my journey. I wasn't always the confident, charismatic guy that I am today. Back in my younger years, I struggled just like you. I didn't understand why some men could talk to women effortlessly while I stammered and stumbled over my words. I'd often find myself replaying conversations in my head, wishing I'd said something different, wishing I hadn't acted so awkward. But over time, through trial and error, I figured out how to shift my mindset, develop social skills, and ultimately become the man I am today. And the principles I learned are exactly what I'm going to share with you in this video. By the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of how to stop being awkward and how to start attracting women naturally. You'll learn why confidence isn't just a trait, it's something you can develop with the right tools and mindset. Awkwardness doesn't come from who you are. It comes from how you perceive yourself in the moment. When you're talking to a woman, whether it's someone you just met or someone you've known for a while, the nervousness comes from one thing: fear. Fear of judgment, fear of rejection. You worry about saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, and making a bad impression. But what you need to understand is this: every time you feel awkward, you're showing that you're not comfortable with who you are, and that you're trying too hard to impress the other person. Women can sense this. They pick up on your insecurity, your neediness, and it makes them feel uneasy as well. This in turn pushes them away, which feeds into the cycle of awkwardness. Here's the key: women are attracted to confidence, and confidence is the ability to be comfortable with yourself, no matter what's happening around you. When you're comfortable in your own skin, you stop caring about how others perceive you. That's when attraction starts to develop, and it's a process. The first thing you need to do is to shift your mindset. You've probably heard the term, mindset is everything, and I'm going to tell you right now that it's true. Your mindset shapes your reality. If you walk into a social situation expecting to be awkward or expecting rejection, you're almost certainly going to get what you expect. That's how powerful your mindset is. But what if you could change that? What if you could start expecting positive outcomes instead? What if you could approach every interaction with the belief that you have something valuable to offer? In my early years, I realized that when I focused too much on the other person, I was setting myself up for failure. I thought that I had to impress them, be someone I wasn't, or say the perfect thing. But this was a trap. The more I tried to impress, the more awkward I became. It wasn't until I focused on myself, on being genuinely present in the moment, that things started to change. Here's a simple exercise to shift your mindset. Before you enter any social situation, take a moment to affirm that you are enough as you are. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You're not trying to impress anyone. Instead, you're offering your time and attention. That's it. You're worthy of being in that space. And the more you remind yourself of that, the more natural you'll feel when talking to women. Let's talk about body language, because it's one of the most important tools you have when it comes to confidence. Your body language tells the other person everything about your emotional state. When you're anxious, you may slouch, avoid eye contact, cross your arms, or fidget. This sends a message that you're not confident or comfortable with yourself, and it immediately makes you come off as awkward. On the other hand, confident body language does the opposite. When you stand tall, keep your shoulders back, and make steady eye contact, you communicate strength, self-assurance, and calmness. Women are naturally drawn to this. I remember in my early days, I would try to talk to women, but my body language would betray me. I'd slouch, avoid looking them in the eye, and shuffle my feet nervously. It wasn't until I started practicing good posture and making eye contact that I noticed a shift in how women responded to me. It's simple, but it works. Now that we've tackled mindset and body language, let's talk about the conversation itself. Being confident in your body language and mindset is great, but you also need to be able to hold an interesting, engaging conversation. One of the biggest mistakes that men make when talking to women is overthinking what they're going to say next. They get stuck in their heads, trying to come up with the perfect response or question. This not only makes them appear awkward, but it also makes the conversation feel stiff and forced. Instead, the key to an engaging conversation is to be present, listen actively, respond based on what the other person is saying, and don't be afraid to let the conversation flow naturally. Ask questions that show genuine curiosity. Don't just ask for the sake of asking. Ask to understand more about who the person is. Women love to feel heard and understood, and the more you practice this, the more natural your conversations will become. I used to make the mistake of talking too much about myself, hoping that would make me seem interesting. But the truth is, it was my genuine interest in the other person that made the conversations flow. So how do you start building better conversational skills? Start by practicing active listening. When you're talking to someone, focus entirely on them. Put away distractions. Nod, make eye contact, and show that you're genuinely interested in what they have to say. Now we're getting to the most powerful tool in your arsenal, the key that unlocks everything else, developing true self-value. This is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Without it, all the techniques and strategies we've discussed will only take you so far. But when you truly value yourself, when you fully embrace your worth, it changes the way you interact with everyone around you, especially women. So what exactly do I mean by self-value? It's more than just thinking you're worthy or giving yourself a pep talk in the mirror every morning. It's a deep, unwavering belief in your own inherent value, not based on anyone else's approval, but because you know you have qualities that make you worthy of love, respect, and attention. Here's the thing, confidence at its core is the ability to be comfortable with who you are, regardless of external validation. It's about knowing that you bring something valuable to the table, whether that's your personality, your talents, your ambitions, or simply the way you carry yourself. And when you have this deep sense of self-worth, it radiates outward, making others, including women, want to be around you. For many men, the journey toward developing self-value isn't instant. I didn't get here overnight. When I was younger, I struggled with my own self-worth. I was constantly trying to seek approval from others. I thought that if I just had the right look, the right job, or the right status, then I'd finally feel good about myself. But the problem with that mindset is that it's based on external factors. It's fragile. You can never truly build a solid foundation on something that is so dependent on others' perceptions of you. What I eventually realized, through trial and error, was that true self-value comes from within. It's about understanding that you are enough, just as you are. But, and this is key, it doesn't mean you stop growing. In fact, self-value goes hand in hand with self-improvement. You cannot expect to attract high-quality women if you aren't putting in the work to improve yourself. Own your worth without apology. You are worthy of respect, love, and admiration, not because of what you do or how others perceive you, but simply because you exist. Many men struggle with the idea of owning their worth because they believe they have to constantly prove themselves to others. They feel the need to apologize for who they are or seek validation before they can feel good about themselves. If you've ever felt this way, I want you to challenge that belief right now. Stop apologizing for being you. When you stop seeking approval and validation from everyone else, you begin to shift your internal narrative. You begin to say to yourself, I am enough, and you stop needing external affirmation to feel validated. This is when true self-value starts to grow. Stop comparing yourself to others. The second biggest mistake I made when I was younger was constantly comparing myself to other men, particularly the ones who seemed to have it all together. I'd watch how they carried themselves, how women gravitated toward them, and I'd feel inadequate. I didn't realize that by constantly comparing myself to others, I was robbing myself of the ability to appreciate my own unique qualities. Self-value isn't about being the best in the room, it's about recognizing that you have your own strengths and that those are enough. The key is to stop measuring your self-worth against other people's achievements, looks, or lifestyles. Once I let go of the need to compare, I found myself focusing more on developing my own strengths and talents, things that made me unique. Embrace self-improvement. Self-value and self-improvement go hand in hand. One of the reasons I was able to grow my confidence was that I consistently worked on myself. I improved my health, my skills, my mindset, and my overall life situation. Every time I worked on becoming a better version of myself, whether it was learning a new skill, improving my fitness, or working on my emotional intelligence, it reinforced the belief that I was worthy of success and happiness. Self-improvement is a lifelong journey, and every time you make progress, no matter how small, you reinforce your value. If you're sitting back and waiting for things to change without putting in the work, you're not giving yourself the opportunity to grow. It's about realizing that becoming a better man isn't just for women, it's for you. The more you grow, the more you see your own worth. Invest in your health and well-being. One of the most practical and powerful ways to build self-value is through taking care of your body. When you invest time and energy into improving your physical health, you send a clear message to yourself that you are worth it. I have seen firsthand how dramatically improving my physical health changed my mental outlook and my confidence. It wasn't just about looking good, it was about feeling good. When you feel strong, energized, and in control of your body, it directly impacts your self-worth. You begin to carry yourself with more pride and assertiveness, and that energy is contagious. Women are naturally attracted to a man who has taken the time to build a healthy, strong body. Stop chasing validation and start creating your own. One of the hardest lessons I had to learn was that the validation I was seeking from others was never going to give me the satisfaction I was hoping for. There was a time when I chased after approval from everyone, women, friends, colleagues, but I never truly felt fulfilled. That's because validation from others is always fleeting. It's based on someone else's perception of you, which can change at any moment. True self-value is about creating your own validation. It's about knowing deep down that you're enough, regardless of what others think of you. Once I stopped seeking validation from outside sources and started validating myself, I felt a huge weight lift off my shoulders. I wasn't constantly looking for approval. I wasn't constantly measuring my worth based on how others treated me. I had learned to validate myself, build a sense of purpose and direction. Men who are focused on something bigger than themselves, whether it's a career, a passion, or a mission, naturally develop a sense of self-value. When I started pursuing a purpose beyond just impressing women or seeking approval, I began to feel more fulfilled. I wasn't just existing, I was building something, working towards something that mattered to me. This shift in focus allowed me to see that my worth wasn't tied to what others thought of me. I was valuable because I had a purpose. I was working towards something, and I was unapologetic about it. Women are drawn to men who have direction, men who are actively pursuing their goals and dreams. When you have a purpose, it elevates your sense of value and makes you magnetic. The truth is, once you begin developing true self-value, everything else falls into place. You'll stop feeling the need to be perfect or perform for others. You'll stop overthinking and second-guessing every word you say. Instead, you'll become more genuine, more relaxed, and more attractive. Because the most attractive trait you can have is someone who knows their worth and doesn't apologize for it. Now, if you want to dive deeper into these concepts, I invite you to check out the links in the description. I've created the Titan Toolbox, a collection of tools, courses, and ebooks that will help you take your confidence and social skills to the next level. Start your journey to becoming a true Titan today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on new videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.